two men who've come on are in the goals. Ivan Rakitic scored a deflected winner for Croatia against Belarus on Saturday. And number 10, Mladen Petric, with the shaven head, has scored 5 times in 5 games for the Bundesliga leaders, Hamburg, so far this season. They have replaced Ivica Olic and Nikola Pokrivac, who had the unfortunate task of trying to tame Aaron Lennon in an unfamiliar position in the early stages. And it turned out to be a bit of a tactical gaffe for Fabio Capello's opposite number. Clearly satisfied with the way things are going.
Yeah, just a bit. And I think, the lads were saying at half-time, I think he'll want that kind of vigour and that intent in England's play once more. I mean, Croatia look a bit dispirited. And now Kranjčar is back in the centre of midfield where we saw him start the match. Rakitic is left, and it's a straight swap between Petric and for Olic up front.
th game in charge of England tonight. 1-13, drawn 2, lost 2. The last 2 English England managers each lasted 18 games. Kevin Keegan and Steve McLaren both departed after game number 18. Got a funny feeling that Capello's going to hang on to his job. Deflection all the way through. There was indeed. It is a corner to Croatia, and England are caught out a little bit. And Mandzukic gets a snapshot at goal from that very smartly taken Cerner corner. England, I think, were anticipating a goal kick and won't allow to that.
That's very good play from Cerner to pick out Mandzukic. Listen, it's a difficult chance. It's bouncing just in front. He's ahead of the near post. It's not easy.
Mandzukic, Eduardo is there, Johnson leant over him. It was a clumsy challenge. The referee had a long, hard look at it. Johnson was the wrong side of the ball. Eduardo went down. Now, did his reputation go before him? No penalty.
Well, he looked impeded to a degree there because Johnson was a bit desperate. I think he felt that Eduardo was just going to pick his spot with his head, and he seemed to just jump all over him when the cross comes in. That could have been given, He certainly makes contact. It's not a dive. That, for me, it could easily have been a penalty.
Certainly for him. It's lost the concentration a little bit here, England. Mandzukic, Petric. Fine challenge by Johnson. Barry just trying to settle things down and linking with Lampard, and now Gerrard. England need to get moving again, re-establish the rhythm which put them in control of this game. Lennon, who's played a large part in that. Ran into traffic. Good advantage played. Gerrard has found Johnson. Pull back. Lampard! England 3, Croatia 0. They are going to the finals in style. The smiles tell their own story. There's no doubt about it now. Even a wink from Fabio Capello. Even he dares to think that must be that. England, World Cup finalists again, surely.
Yeah, until that point, it was a fairly muted start to the second half for England. I think the referee does very well here because he could have blown for this. He allows it to go on. Johnson has kept on going forward, but I think this is very, very clever because once he gets past Pranjic, he knows exactly what he's doing. He sees Lampard, pulls it back very, very intelligently and right onto his head. Now Lampard, can he find the corner? Yes, he can. Enough to keep it away from Rooney. And what a position for England to be in now.
Second of the night for Frank Lampard. Third of the night for England. A lot of people saying Johnson's better going forward than he is defending, and I suppose you might say the same of Ashley Cole too. England do have at the moment 2 adventurous fullbacks, and I suppose the answer is to find a player who will sit in front of the 2 central defenders and give them the licence to go. That might be the solution to any defensive frailties you feel they may have. Cole seeking out Gerrard. It's cut out by Cerner.
Listen, Clive, I mean, if you're talking about knockout stages of major tournaments like World Cups, then you need to be thorough throughout the side. I mean, the centre midfielder's not going to be able to cope against the best. You need your fullbacks to do what they're there for first and foremost, and that's be solid defensively.
Here's Barry. Gerrard. There's no flag here. Wayne Rooney is onside. Cut back towards Steven Gerrard, and England have 4. Lampard 2, Gerrard 2. England absolutely rampant. Some famous faces there, decorated by smiles. Have England got a team which can do what they could not? Have they got a manager who can release them and give them a platform to go all the way? We are beginning to ask that question with some reality now.
Well, I mean, if Croatia were a bit dispirited at half-time, they're way down there now, totally dejected. I mean, it's onside when it's played through. Again, I just think it's clever. Rooney knows he can't play it low near post, so he has to loft it, he has to flight it. Again, knowing that he's going to have an England player coming onto it, and Gerrard clever as well. He just keeps the height in the header long enough to keep it above the goalkeeper as he tries to scramble back in position. And I think, again, it's a very, very well-worked, clever little goal.
About Steven Gerrard, it's John Toshak, isn't it? When did he last head 2 goals in a match? Ryan Robson and Alan Shearer not getting quite as excited as the gentleman in front of them. Sona. Cranchar. Similar kind of shot, different kind of goalkeeper.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was his speculative effort early on, a couple of years ago, that went in when it shouldn't, and it kind of undermined the whole England performance that night. Not tonight.
It is only Rob Green's 7th cap. That was Scott Carson's 2nd back in 2007. Ben Foster's back on the England bench tonight, having missed the Dutch game through injury. Fabio Capello has said that he knows who his number 1 will be for the first game of the World Cup finals, but he's named 8 different goalkeepers so far. Not Manuel Almunia among them, but Green is the man in possession, 5th international in a row. Well seen by Cerner. Croatia have been overrun. Pranic to Rakitic. He's found a cross, Eduardo! Good save by Green. Petric, Mandzukic, Green again, Eduardo! Goal for Croatia, and it's Eduardo of Arsenal who scored it. England opened up on their right side again, and despite the heroics and acrobatics of Rob Green, Eduardo has bagged a goal for Croatia.
4-0 up or not, that will irritate the coach big time, because, you know, it's cutting out those mistakes that are a big part of it. And similar to the weekend, he's beaten with ease again, Glenn Johnson. I think Petric is probably in an offside position when the header comes in, not penalised. I think Green does ever so well on a couple of occasions. This from Eduardo is a great stop. The next one's pretty good as well, but, you know, he can't really do much about that.
Holland have qualified, Brazil have qualified, Ghana have qualified. 4 nations from the Asian group, Australia, Japan, North and South Korea have qualified for the World Cup finals. England are 15 minutes away from adding their name to that list. On a night when they need just a point to secure that qualification, they lead Croatia by 4 goals to 1. Just as we list the countries who have already qualified, so it's interesting to list countries who are in peril. Portugal in deep trouble in their group. France still not certain. Argentina far from certain. A Winter World Cup, it will be played in relatively cool, often rainy conditions. Is this the opportunity?
Oh, 2 more England issues will be raised by the goalkeeper, who for me is blameless on it. Glenn Johnson, he could have prevented the cross.
But have we better in those positions?
At the moment, no, I don't think he can argue who's there. As I said earlier on, Clive, I think Johnson will address it, and I think he will improve at it. And he's got to accept now that defending comes first.
Here's Petric. Green has to make a save there. This is why Fabio Capello is getting a little irritated now.
Keep it. I think he's saying just keep working the ball, keep it, make him chase it. And we're 4-1 up now.
Don't let your standard slip. Rooney's flicked it on. The folk can't quite get there. Sona does. Šimanić, poor ball. And look hapless, Croatia. Should he have done better here?
I think he could have. I mean, Rakitic has done well, like the Slovenian player of the weekend. But he's got to try and stop that. It's as simple as that. I mean, maybe Green could have done a little bit better on the follow-up, but 4-0 or not, he's still very unhappy that it found the net.
He does have that sort of air of a schoolmaster about him. They're such naughty boys sometimes. Rooney's got a chance. Thank you very much. An almost shy, embarrassed smile breaks across the face of the leading goal scorer in World Cup qualification in Europe. Wayne Rooney handed a goal by Vedran Rounier, and England are 5-1 up. Couldn't miss.
Well, he couldn't, as gifts go. I mean, that's a beauty. I mean, I just wonder if Emil Heskey's thinking, why couldn't I have had a chance like that? Because he hangs his head, Slaven Bilic. Rounier just makes a meal of this. It's a simple one back. He should be clearing this easily with the left foot, and he's just made an utter hash of it. And it's the simplest job in the world for Wayne Rooney, just to make sure it goes between the posts. He was never going to miss.
Rounier, the goalkeeper, to Rooney, the goal scorer. His 9th goal of this World Cup qualifying campaign. 2 more than anybody else has managed in European qualifying so far. You don't need to hold your hand up, mate. We know it's you. 11 goals in his last 10 internationals. He saw the funny side of it. Wayne Rooney is in prolific goal-scoring form for club and country. First match of the tournament, 11th of June next year, the final at Johannesburg's 95,000 capacity soccer city on July the 11th, 2010. Potentially a big year for England.
When you look back on the opening 45 minutes tonight as well, this could have been even bigger again with the chances England created.
They've scored goals freely all the way through this qualifying campaign. That's it! England are back on the big stage. Next stop, South Africa. You can add the 2010 World Cup to the English summer sporting calendar. Who knows if England are ready to win it again, but they are in it again. John Terry will lead them there. A great honour for any man, the 8th man to captain England to a World Cup finals. It's not a new thing, not a new feeling. England have now qualified for their 4th consecutive World Cup, 7 of the last 8. But after sitting out the European finals last summer, there's a sense of relief. And after 8 straight qualifying wins under Fabio Capello, there is a sense of belief too. Happy days are here again. Winners tonight by 5 goals to 1. Qualifiers with 2 games to spare.